Welcome back to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 53 today. Easton, it is a Saturday morning. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm tired. I'm glad I got a nice coffee.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Yeah, it's a nice weekend. We're coming off of a Wednesday episode. Not that much has really happened in news that much, but I mean, the NBA offseason can't really start to do trades yet. Not until Wednesday, I don't think.
There was one big piece of news.
Well,
Came
yeah.
out 20 seconds after we got done recording.
Yeah, on Wednesday we got done recording, and of course, right after comes out that Russell Westbrook has pretty much requested a trade from Houston. He just said he wants out of Houston. That I was literally checking my phone the whole episode just to see if anything was coming out, and it did. And pretty much, there's been talks about, like earlier there was talks about the Clippers and Knicks both being interested in Russell Westbrook, and then the Charlotte Hornets apparently are like the front runner, I guess, at Russell Westbrook. One thing is there is a way that the Clippers can get Westbrook with keeping George and Leonard.
How?
I saw a trade and it would work.
Did it make sense?
Yeah, it was Lou Will. It was pretty much Montrezl Harrell leaves, you know.
Yep.
It was Lou Will, Pat Bev, Zubats, and that Cabin J-Lay dude, that the dude who don't play, and a pick for Westbrook, and that worked. And then they would just have like zero money left, and they would just have to sign all minimum
Mid-level,
guys.
Yeah. But there'd be guys who wanted to play for that team.
Oh,
guys who want to win who would take that mid-level
Westbrook
exception.
and Kawhi, though, I don't really know.
Westbrook and Paul George?
I mean, it worked before.
Not
I
really.
mean, it didn't work, but they were like it's not like they didn't get along.
No.
Though. Like they were good teammates. But I don't know how I like the Westbrook and Kawhi
I don't like
egos.
I think there's
least.
too many egos on that team.
Already,
Paul George
and then you throw
yeah.
Russell Westbrook. Paul George became one of the cockiest players in the league this year.
Yeah, for no reason. No reason.
That whole LA Clippers team, they literally just made everyone hate them.
Yeah, because they were the most cocky. I mean, Montrezl Harrell and Lou Will are just
Pat Bev.
Oh, Pat.
Now Lou Will ain't really that, not as much as the rest of them.
No, but Pat Bev is awful.
Pat Bev, yeah.
I can't stand
Marcus
that dude.
Morris just added to the flame.
Yeah, it got worse as the season went on.
We'll give it Zubats. He's pretty chill.
He's pretty dope.
Shamit, you know, he's fine, but the rest of them, no.
Well, did you see the picture of Paul George kissing the PS5?
Yeah.
And then AD was kissing the trophy. And
Did
it
you
said
see?
the difference.
He got married, or he got engaged to his now fiance, and it said she got a ring first, or he might have got married, but it was just a picture of her, and he had hashtag she got a ring first, which is just like, why do you gotta roast yourself like that?
Ouch.
But yeah, that was just kind of the first news. Do you have any Westbrook where you'd like to see Westbrook?
I want to see him in a big market. I don't want to see him in Charlotte or Detroit.
I want to see him on the Knicks, bro.
I want to see him on the Knicks.
I so want to see him on the Knicks.
Me too.
But do you think this means Harden is gone too, or
unless they get but if you can't get much from Charlotte, that's gonna keep Harden in contention.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, what are you gonna get? Malik Monk. You're gonna get Rozier because of money. You're gonna get
Tyler Zeller because of money.
Cody.
Wait, did I do this last episode?
Yeah. You might throw in Biyombo instead of Zeller, whichever one the Rockets would rather have, and then you get you definitely don't get pick 3. You get a top 10 protected pick next year, maybe. I don't know. Not really anything that's gonna.
Yeah, and that means Harden's gone. And then, where did the somebody just requested a trade, and their destination's like the Nets. Oh, it was Harden.
Well, no, Harden
He didn't request.
He said it came. I don't know if he personally said this, but it came out that if he were to leave, or if he were to get traded, he would want it to be to the Sixers, the Nets, and what was the third one? The Heat. Yeah. Which, oh my God, Jimmy and Harden together.
Those two would dominate.
Would be excellent. Jimmy, you guard the best guy. Harden, you score every time.
You score on the best guy.
Now that would involve if let's say James Harden gets traded to the Heat, right?
Tyler, Kendrick Nunn,
Is Bam?
Duncan.
Do you got to give up Bam, dude? You might have to give up Bam for Harden.
Well, they're already in rebuilding mode, so I don't think you'd give up
The
Bam.
Rockets?
Because if they're trading Harden, they've also already traded Westbrook. You might be able to go Tyler, Duncan, and Kendrick, and then a pick.
Well, you're gonna have to throw in Tyler, Duncan, Kendrick. You're gonna have to throw in Olynyk at least for money wise. Who is another person that's making a lot of money?
Well, Goran Dragic, he's leaving.
Iguodala is.
Oh,
I knew there was one more guy.
Yep. I hope Iguodala gets traded.
I don't
this
know,
offseason.
dude. Harden is like one of the best shooting guards of all time. Like, I feel like you might have to give up Bam, dude.
But then at that point, I don't think it's worth it.
No, because you don't want to give up Bam with all those guys.
Yeah.
If you just are giving up Bam and like Iguodala,
I still don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either because I love Harden, but he's 31, 30.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not giving up that much for Harden.
But
Especially if he wants out.
Yeah, but if there's any way you can do it without giving up Bam,
Whatever
that
it
big
takes.
three that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's a instant championship favorite for me.
At least in Eastern Conference
Yes,
favorite.
Eastern Conference favorite. That's what I meant.
But like I saw Stephen A. Smith came out on First Take and was like, Russell Westbrook doesn't want to play with James Harden no more. And it was posted on Instagram, and Russell Westbrook literally commented on it and said like, where y'all come up with this stuff.
Yeah, it's not about Harden.
Happy birthday to me or something like that, because it was on his birthday. And it was just like, and then Harden posted a picture with Westbrook on his birthday, like wish him a happy birthday, and it had nothing to do with basketball. It's just like, I don't think Harden and Westbrook have a problem playing with each other.
No, they love each other.
Like,
They've mentioned how
I've
much
heard
they like
Westbrook said that there's rumors that he wants to be the primary guy again, and but
That's not a diss on
that's
Harden.
not a diss on Harden at all. It's just like, it's not saying I don't want to play with him.
It's just I want to be.
Kind of is, but like,
It's like I want to be the guy on my next team.
Yeah.
He knows he's not better than Harden.
no,
There's
I
no
think
world
he,
that
I
Russell
think he
Westbrook
knows that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, him and Harden are brothers. Like
Yeah.
they're some of the best friends in the league. So.
I mean, when you hear Harden talk about Westbrook, there's no bad blood. Because
No.
Harden I love playing with the guy. He has the most
and it would
energy.
be like when they lost in the playoffs, Harden said, "We got to do whatever it takes to get me and Russ to the next level."
Yeah. And looks like you and Russ might not exist next
I
year.
saw the one trade with the Clippers that did involve Paul George, and it was Paul George going to the Rockets for
I saw that.
Westbrook and Covington and a 2022 pick, one of the few picks that Houston has.
I actually like that trade. I like Paul George and James Harden on the same team.
But for the Clippers' sake, though, like how does that make you better?
I don't know, and I don't think it does. I don't think Russell Westbrook. I know it sounds crazy. I don't think he makes a lot of teams who are contenders better.
Unless you, without giving up someone that's better than him, you know,
Yeah.
like giving up, like obviously if you give up Lou Will and Pat Beverly,
You're gonna get better
for Westbrook. Yeah, that makes your team better. But
Yeah.
like when you're giving up another star, it's like I'd probably take Paul George over Westbrook. Like easily.
Westbrook just has such a system fit issue where he struggles to fit. In
I just hope that we
system.
get to see the Westbrook that we saw.
OKC MVP.
Okay, no, like Houston, like before the shutdown, like when he was averaging.
Clint Capella gets
when he was
traded.
averaging a 30-point triple double. Yeah, after Clint got traded, like
Yeah.
Westbrook still got it. Like he does. He just needs the place like
Yeah.
where he can put it all together. But I don't know. I'm interested about the Westbrook thing.
Westbrook
I'm
has-
really intrigued. I really hope the Pistons don't trade for him. Like I would love that, but like Westbrook's gonna make us decent. Like we're not just still gonna suck. Like we'll be right back into that 7 through 9 seed.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
you trade
place.
probably Christian Wood and Luke Kennard for Westbrook.
Yeah, you trade Blake Griffin. I've seen like literally Blake Griffin for Westbrook, and we also get a 2nd-round pick in it.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, I would like Blake Griffin's the more valuable one.
Yeah, it makes
which
us-
I don't get that.
That actually makes us low-key a good team.
I know,
like a
like that's the
solid
thing. Like
ass
we're
team.
solid, but like we're a solid to be the 7th seed.
It's like when we
and
got
lose
Blake
it
Griffin.
and get swept.
Like when we got Blake
Exactly,
Griffin.
and I don't
just
want
solid.
that.
No, me either.
But yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Westbrook. Like I said, the draft is on Wednesday. I'm super excited for that, and that's when all these trades can start to go down. Next thing on the news, what were you going to say?
About Oladipo.
That's literally what I was going to
I
say,
didn't
yeah.
know. I didn't know if that was on your list.
Oladipo pretty much. Oh, man, what's going on with Oladipo, man?
Well, okay,
it's
so,
so weird.
the reports came out that when he played the Raptors and the Heat was like,
and the Knicks, too, dude.
and the Knicks apparently, I didn't hear about
Yeah.
the Knicks, but he was like, he was telling all the players like, you guys need to get me. I want to be out of here. I want to play with y'all.
Yeah, he'd say, can I come play with y'all?
Yeah.
In the middle of the game, right in front of his teammates.
And then reports came out 3 days later that Oladipo never said that, and he's committed to the Pacers
Yeah,
fully.
he came out and said, well, it didn't come out. He said, I never said that.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm 100% committed to the Pacers. About a month after he said he wanted to get traded.
Yeah.
And he was the one who said he wanted to
So
get
is he
traded.
just covering his ass,
I think so.
right?
Right.
'Cause if you say you want to be
Because
traded, then this
the thing
comes
is,
out.
this just makes you look bad no matter what. Because if let's say I'm the Toronto Raptors, right, and I say this dude said that to another team. He said I want to come play with y'all. Like that's not, that shows, that's just like not, that's like immature almost, like that's just not being committed to your team. I know maybe he's frustrated with this situation, but you don't let it show like that.
No, you don't start talking
You
to
try to
other
keep it
teams.
behind the scenes, I don't know.
That's
That's
unprofessional.
It's super unprofessional. Yeah. And like a team probably wouldn't be interested in that. So it's smart of him to try and cover his tracks. Like, I didn't say that. What? Like, I love this team,
Yeah, exactly.
I still think he's going to get traded 100%, though. There's no way he doesn't after this wild offseason for him.
This offseason is actually shaping up to be, everybody thought it was going to be like an It's
yeah, because
shaping
it was
up to
like,
be
oh,
crazy.
Anthony Davis is the only good free agent. And then it's like, oh, wait, pretty
Westbrook
much
wants
everyone is going to get traded.
Yeah.
James Harden might get traded.
Yeah.
That would be that's crazier than Paul George getting traded. That's crazier than Kyrie Irving getting traded. Like, Harden would be the biggest star to get traded
And then
since.
it's as crazy as
I
the
don't know.
Kawhi Leonard signing.
Yeah.
The
I don't know. That was nuts.
highway robbery.
The
that night.
Kawhi and Paul George
Same
to LA
night.
on the same night was the craziest thing. Probably.
I remember
ever.
waking up and I'm just looking at my phone like, what happened? I'm just going through Twitter and it's like, that
Yeah,
was
I woke
hot.
up
Like,
I remember it all happened at like 3 a.m.
Yeah. And like Kawhi was like secretly meeting with Paul George and the Clippers.
Yeah, I know.
Also while openly meeting with the Lakers.
Well, and Paul George told Sam Presti he wanted to be traded, and he like they agreed to keep it like super low key, like we're not gonna release this to the press, and then just bam,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Well, because then Kawhi was like, oh, he's just teasing the Lakers so they can't get any players.
It's just so weird to think about how much the value of players can change too, because like you look at what Paul George was traded for last year, like an insane, like finished third in MVP voting, like first team All NBA, one of the best players in the league last year with OKC, or 2 years ago, I guess, with OKC. And then you look at like now, if Paul George were to get traded, like it's for Westbrook and Covington.
You're not getting Shea and
Like Westbrook is cool, but you're not getting Shea, Gallo, and 7 first-round picks.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I don't know. It's so, and like Chris Paul is just another thing too. Like he got, his trade value is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I would almost say that Chris Paul has more trade value than Russell Westbrook does, and they were traded for each other last year.
Yeah, I definitely think Chris Paul has a lot more trade value. I think
Yeah.
the thing is, if the Rockets were to keep Chris Paul last year, I honestly think they have a very good chance at going to the NBA Finals if they have Chris Paul. Because I think them with
Are you
Capella.
talking like bubble this year?
Yeah,
I don't know, because then they wouldn't have traded Capella, right?
but I think they're better with.
They'd have just
Capella.
brought back the same squad, but
Yeah.
but Chris Paul was. We don't know how, because Chris Paul, I mean, he still wasn't very good in his last year in Houston. He really wasn't,
Yeah.
And so we don't know if he would have turned that gear like he did in OKC. So,
As long as
It's
he commits to
interesting.
veganism,
oh yeah, it's got to be that.
it's got to be that.
Next thing on the news is LaMelo Ball, top prospect, worked out for Golden State, Detroit, and Charlotte the other day. The Pistons have been pretty active saying that they want LaMelo Ball. It's kind of been the focus point. I'm still committed to LaMelo Ball. And yeah, I mean,
We got to make a move soon, though. I mean, the draft is Wednesday.
yeah, I mean, you could make a move on draft night,
And that's what it usually
Trae Young
happens, I
and
guess.
Luka, that was on draft night.
You just got to go.
Yeah,
You got to go.
I mean, like this, I'm so excited for the draft. It's literally in like this upcoming week is going to be amazing.
I'm so
We got hoops on Tuesday night against the frat boys. Wednesday we got the draft, and then we got off season starts on Friday.
I'm not even sure. Our
Free
view-
agency starts Friday.
They have no idea what you're talking about when you say hoops on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, we got hoops on Tuesday.
We're in
just
a
so you
men's
know.
league.
And we're so cold.
We're so nasty.
and then guess what? College hoops starts the following Wednesday. Like, how awesome is that?
It's going to be insane. And it just keeps getting crazier because then we're going to be watching high school basketball. Like,
yeah.
Imani's going to be playing a lot.
Yeah, on TV too. That was actually next what was on my news thing. Amani Bates played against Chet Holmgren, 2 number 1 overall players in their classes. Chet is 2021 and Amani's 2022. If you have never got a chance, I mean, I pretty much, most people from Michigan have know and seen Amani Bates, but Chet Holmgren is nasty.
Oh my, he's unreal.
Dude is insane.
His footwork is crazy.
Me and Scoob and Jagger watched this whole game between Team Sizzle, Chet's team, and Ipsy Prep, Amani's new prep school. Wow, it was such a fun game to watch. Amani ended with 36 and 10. Chet Holmgren finished with 31, 12 rebounds, and 6 blocks. The dude coming into that game was averaging a triple-double with blocks.
That's unbelievable. So is Team Sizzle his high school, like his...
No, he goes to Minnehaha Academy.
That's what I thought. That's like
but
his...
it's just like, I don't know
It's
what
his
that
AU
team is. Yeah,
I
and
think.
I think it is too. But I was wondering, is Ipsy Prep like a school now, or is it just this team? Is it just, does he still go to Lincoln?
I think it's a prep. No, I think it's an Ipsy Prep school.
Is it an actual school though? Yeah.
I think, but like it's like, you know how Julian Newman had his prep school last year?
Yeah.
There's like one building where they took online classes.
Is that, yeah.
I think that's what theirs is.
Because I wonder how many kids go, because it's Monty Bates, like dad made the school,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
like he.
So is their home court Concordia?
I don't know. I don't know if they were just playing there just because it was on TV and everything, but yeah, they did play at Concordia. It was a good game, but I will say, you know, Chet Holmgren kind of outplayed Amoni Bates, even though Amoni had a very quiet 36.
Yeah.
Like you didn't think he dropped 36
That's
points.
what my dad was telling me. He's like, I could not tell that guy.
But
scored
Holmgren
36.
just wasn't missing though. Like he only missed like 4 shots in the whole game. Plays like a guard and he's 7 foot tall. Like he's just so smooth. Like I've never seen a player. He doesn't have a Amoni Bates NBA comparison is Kevin Durant, and it's like
not even
it's
close.
he's so similar to Kevin Durant.
It's the Kobe Michael Jordan comparison.
But yeah, it is. But Chet Holmgren doesn't have one. Like I've never seen somebody like him. He's
Yeah.
like if Jokic was skinny and faster.
like skinny.
But
Jokic.
that's why would I even say
Yeah.
that? Like how is that even a comparison?
And I don't think he's got the playmaking ability Jokic has.
But I would just I'm super because Amoni Bates has never really got to play on the national level, and against national talent like this. So it's gonna be because he just played against Michigan dudes for the first 2 years of high school. So
It's been huge. This is going to be a huge year for Amani. This is where he can really show he's the number 1 player in the country.
Yeah.
Is what his goal is.
yeah, exactly. And then the last thing on the news that I have is actually some college basketball news. The Ivy League announced that they are canceling all winter sports. They might have said postpone actually, but I'm not sure. But yeah, they were the first team. They were the first school to do it back in March when March Madness got canceled. So hopefully this isn't like last time.
I don't think it will be.
I don't think so.
Ivy League's the only big conference not playing
Especially
football
with
right
high
now.
school still playing and everything. Like
Yeah.
Ivy League is obviously more concerned about scholars and actual like student work than sports.
The
you know?
future presidents.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into some college football games this weekend. The number 1 team in the country, Alabama, was supposed to take on LSU, but that game has been canceled due to COVID-19. Several games have now been postponed due to COVID.
Clemson's game got postponed.
Did it?
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't even know that. But yeah, like there's been several games getting postponed now because of COVID. It's weird. I don't know.
getting scary.
It's getting scary as far as like, are they gonna finish the year for a college football playoff? The college football playoff is wide open right now. Like, I mean, Bama and Notre Dame and Ohio State are kind of like stapled in right now. But after that, it's like Notre Dame could lose, and then it's just like, what's gonna happen?
I still think Clemson has to make it. I mean, without Trevor Lawrence, they'd lost by 6
Yeah,
to Notre Dame.
and it was a really good game.
Yeah.
But some notable games this weekend. Number 10, Indiana, who just defeated Michigan last week, is headed to East Lansing to take on Michigan State, who's trying to come get a bounce-back win. Number 2, Notre Dame is taking on Boston College. Boston College, remember, they almost beat Clemson the first week that Trevor Lawrence was out, so that honestly might be a good game. And then number 13, Wisconsin travels to Ann Arbor to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan is 1-2 right now, and if they were to lose this game, it would be their worst 4-game start since 1967.
Fire Jim Harbaugh. I don't care if they
1-3 for Michigan. That's unheard of.
If they win this football game, I will be shocked, like big time.
You think so?
Oh, I think there's almost a 0% chance they win this football game. They
Zero.
I mean, they.
I don't know if I tried to find out if Wisconsin's quarterback was playing, right? Graham Mertz. Because he got ruled out for COVID 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And everything was like pretty much saying, I don't know. Like, we don't know if he's going to play yet. Like, no one knows. And I could probably find it right now just because the game is today. But
In an hour.
Yesterday I was trying to find it and like I literally could not. It was all like he might play. Like, we don't know. He probably will. I would assume.
I think you would. It's been 2 weeks. And Trevor Lawrence got a 10 days, so.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just different rules. But
I don't really understand it.
Some NFL news. The Colts beat the Titans on Thursday night. Did you pick the Titans? Yeah, you did. I picked because I picked the Colts. So if we are to tie, that's not looking good for you.
Not looking good.
But yeah, the Colts scored 24 straight to win this game. The Titans were up 17-10, and the Colts ended up winning 34-17. I just want to give a fantasy update for like some of our fantasy guys. You know, like how's fantasy going for you?
This week has started off horrible. Jonathan Taylor went from a top 5 running back in the NFL for fantasy wise. fantasy, he was killing it.
I don't know about top 5.
Top
Maybe
10.
probably the best rookie running
Top
back.
10 fantasy running backs. He was getting like 16, 17 points a game. The last 3 games.
He got like 4 carries the other night for like 7 yards.
Yeah, the last 3 games, he hasn't scored over 10 points.
The Colts have Nyheim Hines and Jordan Wilkins, and they just like let them.
They won't give the ball
They
to
have
Jonathan
random
Taylor.
games where they just go to those two and they don't give it to JT, which is scary because I have Jonathan Taylor in my dynasty league, and you know he's like my star going forward. So I don't know. It's interesting to see if hopefully those guys are gone after this year.
Yeah,
but,
I'm really nervous about Jonathan Taylor. And if he doesn't score over 10 points next week, I'm trading him. Michael Thomas is
your
back.
trade deadline isn't up now in your league?
No, it might be next week.
Really? Ours was this week.
I don't know. Jack is our commissioner. Jack just does whatever's best for him.
He does. Yeah, he's probably cheats it.
Oh, he's Roger Goodell, but worse. Hashtag not
I got
Mike
Big
Mish.
Ben, and Big Ben was cleared to play today, which is super exciting because they play against the Bengals, and the Bengals aren't very good. So even though I'm pretty sure I picked the Bengals to upset the Steelers,
You
yeah.
did.
But hopefully it's just like a 50-50 game, and the Bengals win. Big Ben throws 5 touchdowns.
Yep.
Because I have Big Ben and Breeze, and I never know which one to start. Because like a week like last week, they both played really well. And then the week before that, they both each got like 11 points. So
See, I've got a serious quarterback issue. And,
I do too, kind of, yeah.
no, my quarterbacks right now are Drew Lock and Tua. So,
How did you end up with that?
well, I had Stafford, but Stafford is horrible.
Yeah, he's not very good for
So-
fantasy. He just doesn't throw a lot of touchdowns this year.
So I picked up Drew Brees for next week. He's on my waiver claims.
He's a free agent.
Yeah,
That's kinda
somebody.
crazy.
Somebody had to let go. Like so, I don't know, but I picked him up because I don't really like trusting Drew Lock and Tua,
Yeah.
like the rookie and a guy who's
and
inconsistent.
pretty much a rookie. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly. Even though I love Drew Lock, he's probably one of my favorite
Yeah.
quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm in such a bad situation right now too because I have so many guys that are questionable.
Mm-hmm.
I have DJ Chark, Chris Godwin, Josh Jacobs. So there's like 4 other guys. I had 8 guys that were either out or questionable this week on my team. Like, and they're all like, "Oh, we'll know on Sunday if they're playing or not." It's like, can you just get cleared to play right now?
Holy moly, dude! I'll tell you what, my worst fantasy move this whole year. I don't even remember who I traded for him, but Robert Tonyan for the Packers.
Yeah,
He started off
tight
the
end,
year
right? Or
yeah,
is he a wide receiver?
tight end. Started off the year balling for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers just kept hitting him. The dude hasn't scored over like 8 points in 4 weeks since I
Dude,
got him.
Tight ends are like tight ends suck in fantasy. There's the
there's-
top 3 or 4 that you can rely on every week, and then after that, it's just like you could pick one up off waivers every
Yeah.
week.
There's literally no reason to
That's
have
why,
him.
like when you draft a tight end, you either have to commit to drafting one early, and if you don't draft one of those top 3 or 4 guys,
You don't
then you
pick
might as well just wait until the 11th round to draft one because
Yeah.
they're all the same.
It's
You know,
so
the
bad.
Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, and Ertz. And Ertz isn't even
No,
that good
Ertz
this
is
year.
awful this year. I
Going
have
into
him.
this year, Ertz like.
I have Ertz.
Hunter
in here.
Henry's been pretty solid. I got Hunter Henry, but who else is like that? That's pretty much it. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
No,
but
there's
Mark Andrews was supposed to be
Hayden
really
Hurst.
good. Yeah, Hayden Hurst been really good this year, but Mark Andrews like last year was in that conversation. Of the
he
top
was
tier.
good to start
And
off.
then this year
season.
he's just been he's not been bad, but he's just been like inconsistent.
yeah. That's
The whole
like tight
Ravens
ends.
team fantasy players have just all been really inconsistent.
The top 3 to 4 tight ends in the league are the most valuable players in fantasy,
oh yeah, because you can rely on them every week to get you.
and you can't
18
do that
points.
with anybody. I mean, there's like 12, 15 wide receivers you can rely on to get
Yeah.
you points every week.
Who would you say is the best player in fantasy right now?
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I agree. I just was wondering if you had any other guys. in
Highway
mind.
robbery with that trade, man. I just
Dalvin
it
Cook
keeps
is
getting better.
easily the best fantasy player right
Easily.
now.
It started off season being Kamara.
Yeah,
And then-
yeah, definitely.
then it
What
switched
about wide
down.
receiver? I'm trying to think of who the best wide receiver pie is right now.
Mm.
Hopkins is still really good, but he has a couple games where he puts up like 7 points.
I mean, again, after the first 3 weeks, it was easily. Oh, it's Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
has to
but
be the best
Devontae
player.
Adams has missed games though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but like right now he probably is. Yeah, but all season. Yeah, right now
at
he
the
is,
start of the
yes.
year, it was Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
After
I
the
have
first, like, 3
I have
games.
him too. He's been really good, but now he's been battling injury, and it's just and he's on bye this week too.
Adam Thielen was hot coming out the gates for me, but now I don't.
Stephon
even,
Diggs has been pretty good too.
Oh, Stephon Diggs
he's
has
been really
a blast.
solid.
Tyler Boyd every single week is having a good week.
Yeah, I have Josh Allen in my family league, and it's just he makes me so nervous
Every
because
week.
because like the first 3 weeks of the year he was so good, and then like then it's just every week it's like, okay, am I going to get 2 interception, 1 fumble, 1 touchdown, like 10 points, Josh Allen? Or am I going to get last week 35 points, 400 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, Josh Allen?
Get this. T. Higgins is the second.
I have T. Higgins in
second wide receiver on the Bengals.
He's solid.
Literally gets like 13 points a game.
Every week, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have a single consistent wide receiver on my whole team.
Really?
I've got Thielen, him, like T. Higgins, Bears wide receiver, Allen Robinson.
Yeah. Allen Robinson is so inconsistent.
And Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Like those are 4 good wide receivers.
At least Mike Thomas is hopefully back for now, or for good now.
I hope so. He was questionable this week. All week he's been questionable, yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
And I don't know whether to start Adam Thielen anymore because when Dalvin Cook came back, he's been getting like 6 points a game. But they're going to start keying in on Dalvin Cook eventually.
I have Melvin Gordon too because I have just.
I like Melvin Gordon.
See, I don't though because I have such a problem at my flex right now. Like my 2 wide receivers, my 2 running backs, I'm cool with. But my flex every week, especially with Ridley on a bye this week, I don't know who to put at flex every week. And last week I read a bunch of videos or watched a bunch of videos said start Melvin Gordon this week. He's gonna have a really good week. Dude had 2 points. And then this week he's projected the most out of anyone else I'd rather start at flex, but I don't want to trust, because it's like why would I do that after he put up 2 points and they said he's gonna have a bounce back week this week, but it's like now, of course, now I don't start him. He probably will go off.
I also have Juju, who's been really good the last 3 weeks. Not really good, 10 points.
Juju's been really, really weird fantasy player.
Well, he started off horrible.
Yeah, I mean, he's had games where he catches 1 pass.
Yeah, but then these last 3 weeks, he's had like 15 points.
That's good.
So I'm going to start him this week. Willie's new Justin Jefferson jersey.
Oh, yeah.
So dope.
I just got a bunch of new jerseys, NFL jerseys, by the way, so I'm going to be rocking them in future episodes. But yeah, is that pretty much is that any other football things you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I want to try on one of your medium jerseys so I can see how it fits.
Yeah,
when I get one.
So before we get into our NBA topics for today, I do want to mention that, like I said, college basketball starts on November 25th. That is a week from this upcoming Wednesday, so in about a week and a half. And some notable games that are going to be coming up after that. On December 1st, Duke plays Michigan State and Kentucky plays Kansas on December 1st.
Ugh.
I so hope that college basketball doesn't get interfered with,
Me
man.
too.
Like
this year should be awesome. I mean, all year for all of our favorites. Michigan State should both be good.
Yeah, Michigan and Michigan State. In 2021, Michigan has a number 1 class. 2022, State has a number 1 class.
We have 3 straight years of good basketball.
If you are a Michigan or Michigan State basketball fan, that should be so exciting to you. Like, I love that I'm a State fan. I love that Michigan has a top class because that just makes the Michigan versus Michigan State basketball rivalry so much better. So I love that.
When both of them are insanely good, the game only gets higher and more intense. Like when we had Trey Burke and everybody, those games were unreal because just 2 top teams battling.
Exactly. But yeah, let's get into the topic of today. So this is something that I've been super excited to do ever since the offseason started. We are going to be predicting where the top 20 free agents go in free agency this year. Free agency starts on November 20th, which is a week from yesterday. It's going to be this upcoming Friday, which is coming up, Mm-hmm. So this list is all unrestricted free agents. I didn't do any restricted just because they're probably going to go back. Like Brandon Ingram, Bogdanovich, those guys are going to go back to their
You have
teams.
one due to the player option.
Yeah, I didn't do anybody with player options either because
Except for one
Gordon Hayward and DeRozan, we really don't know what they're going to do. Drummond, we don't know. Mm-hmm. But I did put Jeremy Grant on here who has a player option just because he's going to decline it.
Yeah, he's worth so much
He's
now.
going to decline his player option. But I don't know what these other guys. So, and by the way, this top 20 list...
you made it.
I made it. I personally just gave the guys who I think are the most interesting, at least most impactful players. Sorry, Derek Favors and DJ Augustine. You didn't make this list. But yeah, we are going to do this. So starting off with the big dog himself, Anthony Davis, easily the top free agent in this year's class.
Easily,
Easton,
probably
where do you got AD going?
I mean, he's going back to the Lakers.
Yeah, he's going back to the Lakers.
He's probably the least interesting big free agent ever.
Oh, probably, yeah.
He's going back to the Lakers.
And what's weird is we still haven't heard anything about him.
No, but I don't think anybody's worried.
Yeah,
nobody's like, AD, are you going back to the Lakers?
Let's just talk about who else are the Lakers going to get, like DeRozan. There's so much talk about DeRozan, but yeah, that's AD's going back to the Lakers, so that's just and we're gonna review these, by the way, once free agency's over, see who got more right. Fred VanVleet is the next one. He's probably the biggest free agent in this class, not including Anthony Davis, just because, like we said, Anthony Davis really isn't even a free agent.
No.
Fred VanVleet, though, a guy who was an undrafted free agent, or not an undrafted rookie, played in the G League, never really been on a big contract in his life, and now he's, the top free agent pretty much. So where do you think Fred VanVleet goes?
I think he's going to go to a non-contender. You're going to see him go to, I think, the Knicks, the Hornets, the Pistons, but I'm going to go with the Knicks. Just 'cause I think the Knicks will toss him a bag, unless they get Westbrook. But I really see him going to the Knicks.
I also went with the Knicks here.
Yeah.
Did you happen to listen to Fred VanVleet on JJ Redick's podcast this week? He was on there, and they were talking about contracts. JJ Redick was just talking like, he was like, I'm not trying to brag, but like I've always, coming out of college, I was a top pick. Like I've always kind of had that bag. What's it like for you? Like you've never really gotten paid before. And Fred VanVleet's like, I'm not gonna lie, like
I'm getting a bag this year.
I'm chasing the bag. Like he goes, I'm straight up, like I've got my championship. I want to go get paid. And
good for you, Freddie.
Yeah, and
good shit.
The Knicks probably will pay him. I really am scared that the Pistons will pay him too. And he has ties with Dwayne Casey, and it scares me. I like Fred VanVleet a lot. Like
I don't want to be good.
Yeah, I just don't want to be good. And Fred VanVleet is a good basketball player.
And he's never been a number one option. He could be a very 25 points per game number one option.
25 a game? You think so?
Yeah, I really do.
That's a lot.
When Freddie's
there was
cooking,
13 guys who averaged 25 this year, dude.
Okay, so 22. 22.
But
Freddie's a hooper.
Freddie on that podcast too was just saying, like, he was like, I would love, because he's never really been the point guard either, because he's always just been
Lowry.
next to, he's been a point guard, but he's just with Lowry. But he was saying, like, I would love to be the leader of my own team someday. He goes, whether that happens, whether I re-sign in Toronto and I wait till Kyle's retired, or whether I go somewhere right now and I become the leader. He goes, I would love to do that someday.
I hope Freddie goes and gets his bag for 4 years, and I hope he pulls a little LeBron and comes back to Toronto.
See, I don't see why Toronto doesn't just pay him. I really don't. Like,
yeah, me either.
Because then you have him. This is what the contract would work. You sign for like a 3 or 4 year deal. Lowry and him could have like the same year that they end their contracts if they line it up right. Lowry can just retire, and then you pay Freddie again. Yeah. And hey, Freddie's only 26 years old. Like,
yeah, he's a young undrafted rookie.
Or is he
or free agent?
Yeah, he's 26. Yeah,
whatever, undrafted player. Like a lot of guys coming in there undrafted. And, like, they're old. Like, they're the 4 years.
He was old. He played 4 years in college.
So, what was he coming in, 22?
Yeah, that's pretty old.
I guess.
That's, like way old.
But, like, Duncan is 26.
Yeah.
And it's Duncan's second year in the league.
I mean, Freddie's in, like, his 3rd or 4th. He's not much farther, but, yeah, Duncan's really old.
Yeah, that stat that we saw, Steven Adams is 27.
Yeah.
And Duncan is 26. What?
Really weird. Next one, we have Montrezl Harrell, another guy who really has never had a huge contract and is going to get paid by somebody. A valuable center in this league. Where do you got him going?
Again, this is another one where I think he's chasing his bag. I think, in all honesty, you could see the Knicks try and do their own little thing with getting Montrezl and Fred VanVleet. Because I know their fans are mad of not getting any free agents anymore.
And the Knicks said that they are going to try to contend this year. They said that they're not going to do this.
And I think that makes them a playoff contender. They're not
going to do this whole, like, take another year and wait for free agency to hopefully we can be good. Like, they want to start to contend.
Because I do like Montrezl and Fred VanVleet together. I really do. I think you put down Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett. However, Hornets might throw a bag unless they get Obi Toppin.
They can play Obi and
I know they can. But, like, I'm saying, like,
Conley would be the one I'd be worried about because he's more of a center. But so what team do you have?
I'm going to say the Knicks.
The Knicks?
Yeah.
I have Montrezl going to Freddie's squad, the Toronto Raptors. I think Toronto is going to be looking for a big this offseason. They're not going to have an extreme amount of money, but they're going to have one per, 20 mil a year because they're losing Ibaka and Gasol, which is a crap ton, but Siakam, his huge contract extension kicks in this offseason. So he was going from $3 million a year to 30 pretty much. But I think Montrezl in Toronto just simply makes them better. I know that they're trying to chase that ring again. They're not really heading downhill. They can't really rebuild right now with the pieces that they have. And they're still a really good team. They have guys. They're just so deep.
They're getting they're getting better. OG is only going to be better next year.
Matt Thomas is probably going to become a rotational player for them. Norman Powell, I still to this day believe that Norman Powell is the number one like most underrated role player in the NBA. Like he's so good.
Who's the other backup one? Other than Fred VanVleet?
Terrence Davis.
Yeah, Terrence Davis. Boucher.
Boucher is probably going to be gone. Was he on this list?
I don't think so.
But yeah.
They only get better. So if you add Montrezl Harrell, the team is OG is going to be very good next year. I think like elite 3-and-D guard in the league.
I just want to see OG average like 16, 17 a game.
Me too. I don't think it's possible if you bring in Montrez.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think he can average 12 and be one of like the best. I'm trying to think who's the best 3-and-D player in the league.
Clay.
Yeah. But Clay is a lot more than just a 3-and-D.
But he
player.
is the best 3-and-D player in the league.
Yeah. 3-and-D role player.
Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder is a bucket. Jay Crowder
KCP.
So nice.
Danny Green. I know he sucked in the playoffs, but he is.
I still think OG can be better than Danny Green.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah. Next one, Danilo Gallinari.
So there's been lots of talk. This is one I was like, I don't really know because the talk has been the Heat.
Yeah, the whole time,
and which makes sense. And he has came out and said that he will take less money this offseason to go and play for a contender.
Yeah, he said he doesn't have a ring. You know?
He's only worried about playing for a contender this year. I love him going to the Miami Heat, but there's so much talk with the Miami Heat about Giannis. Now James Harden has been thrown into the mix. Where that's not really talk, but like if James Harden gets traded, he wants to go to the Heat. That's a big deal. Right. You're going to save whatever you can just in case. I see him going to the Dallas Mavericks.
I was thinking about that. I still have the Heat. Just because you can always sign Gallinari this year, and then you want to go after Giannis, so you dump Gallinari. You trade him for a lot of the 14th pick of the draft or something, or you trade him to Milwaukee in a sign and trade type thing.
I do like
because
Milwaukee.
you can't just sign Gallinari to a 1-year deal because he's not going to want to do that. He's want to be locked up.
Are you sure?
Money.
I think he could go for a 1-year deal.
I don't think he would like
maybe
that,
a 2-year
because he's going to get good money. He's going to get at least $15 million a year. And you would like to be secured. What happens if he gets hurt and then next year no one wants to pay him? You want to be secured.
Yeah, good point.
So I love Dallas though. I mean that him next to KP is. I love another guy next to Porzingis.
Me too.
I really believe that whether it's Porzingis still playing the 5 or moving Porzingis back to the 4, like either way.
With the jump, Luka I think will take next season, and I say jump because as if he wasn't a top 7 player in the league.
As if he wasn't first team All-NBA this year.
He's going to take but a jump next year. You throw in a third very good player. I think that team is going to be.
I still have the Heat though,
they're not
just because of all the rumors and everything. Next, we have my personal biggest free agent of this class, most important free agent. That is Christian Wood. He is unrestricted, even though he's a young player, just because he wasn't like a high draft pick or anything, so he's not a restricted free agent. He is unrestricted. The Pistons do have bird rights on him, so they can dip into the luxury tax if they want to, but they're not going to have to because they have a lot of money. So, what are you going with for Christian Wood?
As Pistons, he's got it. He's going to get a bag. He should get a bag.
I'm going with Pistons simply because I'm going to be terrified if they don't bring him back, and I will be so upset.
So upset.
Everything is talking about he's going to the Hornets. That's all I ever hear is Hornets. Like, what's up with him and the Hornets?
Pistons, if they don't throw him, I don't know what the cap is, like when I'm not paying him. Do you know?
I personally don't think there is one. Like, you're
saying like 26 mil?
Like, you have no reason to not give him a big-ass contract.
Yeah, good point. I mean,
who else do we have to pay, you know?
And he should ball out. Like, there's no reason for him to not be good.
And that's just Christian Wood is just interesting because like he just had that small sample size of games where he looked like an all-star. It's just like, can he do that consistently?
Well, everybody thinks he's like the next, like he's not next up, but like he's going to be a big-time power forward in the league now.
Yeah.
Or center.
I hope so.
He can play center.
Yeah, he'll probably will play center this year unless we do
I think
something.
you move Sekou to the 4.
Yeah. I don't think, Sekou at the 3 is I don't really know how much. He doesn't really shoot the ball well enough to. Next, we have a guy who shoots the ball damn well. Davis Bertans, probably the best shooter in this. Maybe Joe Harris, but
it's him and Joe Harris.
Where you got Bertans going, man? He's a guy who definitely I think can make a team who is contending the favorite.
Yep,
by adding him.
I see a team like the Lakers going out and getting him. I don't think they have the money, so I'm not sure about that. The Mavericks again. He works there. I think
Four and big.
I don't know what the money situation in Washington is. I don't know much about it. I assume they don't have a lot because John Wall's still on that huge contract.
Bradley Beal's on a big one.
But I don't see why he doesn't stay in Washington and just try and make them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see why they're not very good this year. So I see him staying in Washington.
I got him staying in Washington as well. I saw when I was looking up just predictions of other people. A lot had Boston Celtics involved.
I don't really like that.
Which is interesting, yeah, because then
I don't want him to be a backup wherever he goes.
No, he would probably start. You would probably just move. You'd probably just bring Marcus Smart off the bench, move Tatum back to the 3.
Yeah.
Which I like that, but I don't really see it happening.
Dude,
though.
that starting lineup is huge, but like huge and like everybody's 6'9".
Yeah, because like even the center is 6'8".
Yeah.
But yeah, Bertans, I got him going back to Washington. That's pretty much it. Next, we have a guy who played very well in the NBA Finals and NBA playoffs this year. An older guy, so I really don't understand, or not understand. I just really don't know what type of money he's going to get this offseason. That's Goran Dragic. You know, because he's most time you don't get. I assume it'll be a short-term deal wherever he goes, 1 or 2 years max. But I just don't know what kind of money he's going to get because he's older, but he played really well.
I would think 12 or 13 mil.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I was definitely say double digits. I just don't know if he's up in that 15+ mil category.
I see him going, like, there's one team that's in my head that, like, I think he will go to because I just think it makes the most sense, and that is the Atlanta Hawks.
I really thought about that. To be a backup, yeah.
Or
you can't start him and Trey.
Who's the 2? Kevin Huerter?
Kevin Huerter, but Atlanta's going to do, they have a decent amount of money to bring in a 2, or they have the 6th pick.
Oh, I think him just, like, kind of being, like, the mentor piece for.
No, I really like that.
Because Goran Dragic is a mentor. Like, he is that kind of player.
Yeah.
So, you see it in his attitude and the way he talks. So, I would love him to go play with Trae Young and mentor him.
I have Goran Dragic re-signing with the Miami Heat. I don't see why the Heat don't throw him a 1-year deal. You know, we'll give him 1 year, 15 mil. Like, here you go. It's just a 1-year deal. You can enter free agency next year and go to another team, finish out your career if you want. Because then if you give him a 1-year deal, I really do think he would accept it, especially if it's higher money. And then you can go out and still try to pursue Giannis, you know, if you don't end up getting Gallinari. So I don't see why the Heat would not be aggressive to bring back Dragic to help him mentor Kendrick Nunn, and so Nunn can become a good NBA player. Mm-hmm. So that's I think he'll go back.
I love the Eastern Conference this year. I think it's going to be so exciting.
I love the NBA this year.
Me too. It's going to be the most competitive NBA season, unless injuries. But I don't think that'll happen.
Next, we have a guy who is coming off of a big contract, already has an NBA championship, been rumored with a couple teams so far. It is Serge Ibaka. He's been rumored to go to the Lakers, not to go to the Lakers, but the Lakers said they're chasing after him. What do you think of him?
I mean, I really do think the Lakers is the perfect fit for him. I also think the Mavericks is a very good fit for him. You throw him next to
big
KP.
That can stretch the floor, yeah.
And he's an incredible defender. Kristaps is known as a good defender. Like, good on-ball switch defender out of pick and rolls, which is unbelievable for a 7'3" guy. To be able to, let's say, that guy can go switch a pick and roll. Like, those two in the front court, I think that's a deadly front court. You stick more shooters around Luka, that team's going to be good.
I like that. So you're going with Dallas?
I'm going with Dallas.
I went with a team that I fell in love with this. As soon as I thought of it, I was like, that would be perfect. So New Orleans Pelicans, man.
I saw that.
You know, Derek Favors is gone, or he's going to be gone. And, you know, they're kind of, Jackson Hayes is, I don't know if he's ready to step into that starter role yet. Ibaka does it perfectly, you know, because Favors and Zion, I don't really like that because Favors neither of them can really shoot the ball that well yet. Zion, you know, but Serge can stretch the floor and he can also rim protect. I mean, Serge Ibaka, you know, he can protect the rim. He can mentor Jackson Hayes. You know, Serge doesn't have to play 35 minutes a night. You know, he can play 25 and start and still get Hayes 20, you know, so.
How old is Serge now? 32?
He's older. He's 32 or 3, yeah, because he's the same age as KD.
It seems like he's way older.
I know. He seems way older than KD.
Like Steven Adams.
Him and KD are the same age. I think he's 32.
It's just the way he looks.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels like he's been in the league forever, too.
Like Steven Adams.
But yeah, Serge has got that ring, so at the same time, he could go out and get paid by somebody, but...
I don't think he will. I think he wants to compete.
Yeah, just the reason I went with this is because I think New Orleans is going to trade Drew Holiday, so they're going to have a little bit amount of money. Signed Serge to a 1 or 2 year deal worth about, I don't know, 15 mil.
Has Serge ever been on a team that's not a contender?
He was on the Magic for like that half a season.
Yep,
That's
Magic.
pretty much it.
I don't
and they
think
probably still made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Next, we have another big who's coming off a big contract. It's Hassan Whiteside. This is an interesting one because we all know he's not going to go back to Portland, just because he was there pretty much just while Nurkic was out. And then as soon as Nurkic came back, he was only playing like 15 minutes a night in the playoffs. And that's not really what Hassan Whiteside is. He's a starting center in the league, so.
I think he's going to the Raptors. I know that's kind of like the favorite.
I've always been the Raptors either getting Montrez or Hassan. Yeah, that's kind of.
So I'm going with the Raptors.
I'm going with the team that you've said a couple times, the Dallas Mavericks. I think the Mavericks bring him in on a 1-year deal.
Think they start both of them?
Start him and KP, yeah, for sure. I think you move KP.
So
yeah, exactly. Big. Look, that shot blocking duo is not. You don't go inside the paint against that team.
Hassan's another guy that can switch a pick and roll pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, Hassan's a pretty good defender.
Not as good as KP.
He's a good rebound. He does his thing on the defensive side of the ball. But
he switched those pick and rolls.
And Hassan, there was talks about the Portland was going to trade him for Kevin Love this year, and they never ended up trading him because he played well for them until Nurkic came back. So. I think Hassan gets a 1-year deal from Dallas so they could still try and pursue a big-time free agent next offseason, and just makes Dallas even better. Dallas will go out and get somebody this offseason, whether it's via trade or signing.
Yep, because the other talk is Oladipo, which I love.
Next guy, we have the best shooter in this free agency class. It is Joe Harris, former three-point contest champion. Who you got going?
I don't really know.
Where he going?
I don't think he's going to go to a contender. I could see a team.
Really?
I could see a team like New Orleans picking him up.
See, I think a guy like Joe Harris has to go to a contender. Else, what's the point of him even being on a team? Because he's that shooter.
Yeah. So I could see him going to New Orleans. I don't see him going to I think he's gonna stay in the East. Don't see him going to the Knicks. Don't see him going to the Pistons. Don't see him going to the Pacers. So I'm gonna go with going to the what team did I just say?
I don't know. Look at your thing.
No, I just had them. Oh my God, the Pelicans. I'm gonna have him going to the Pelicans.
Are you just thinking of this on top of your head?
I read through them all and had them all picked.
I got him going to the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Yeah, just simply because the Sixers need shooting. Why not bring in the best shooter? Bring in the best shooter.
I like that.
They would have to do this probably depending on what type of money Joe Harris would want, but it would probably have to be after Al Horford trade or after Tobias Harris trade if they plan on trading either one of those guys. But I like Joe Harris in Philly because he's just like JJ Redick was. So, yeah. Next guy, Marcus Morris, a guy who really took a leap last year in New York, became a 20-point per game scorer, traded to the Clippers, and was still a very good player. So,
this is another guy who I think is going to get a pretty decent bag this offseason.
Oh yeah, I think he could get 18 mil.
Yeah. So I don't think the Knicks are going to take him again. They don't want him back again. But I could see him going to a contender at the same time. I could see him going and playing for the Raptors. I can't see him going and playing for the Sixers. I know they don't have the money right now.
No, because he had beef with the Sixers.
That's what I'm saying.
The attitude, Boston,
the attitude issues with Joel Embiid and him.
Yeah,
there's no way they can mesh unless they both decide we're cool now.
He ain't going to Dallas. He got it with Luka.
So I'm gonna have him going to the Raptors. I know we've had a lot of guys going to the Raptors, but I think he could actually fit there and be that voice for the Raptors. The Raptors aren't the loud; they're a quiet team, which makes them more fun, I think, and more interesting because they're a real team.
Yeah.
So, but I could see him going out there and being the voice of the Raptors.
The thing for me, I could see him going to a team that isn't really a contender, but has the chance to be a contender in the next couple of years. I think he's going to go to the Chicago Bulls.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that because Porter he has a player option, but he's definitely going to accept it. It's worth 27 mil or something.
Yeah.
So they'll have Porter for one more year, but the wing spot is just kind of the most questionable spot for the Bulls. Marcus Morris has been a 4, but you could play him at the 3. Yeah, and I just think he brings a little leadership and a dog mentality to that young Bulls team.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have Jeremy Grant. Like I said, the only guy with a player option on here. Definitely Jeremy Grant showed how good he can be for a championship caliber team this offseason or this playoffs. Where do you got him going?
I've got him going. I love him. I think he is very big time player now. I think he'll be a stud next year. I've got him going to Dallas. I love Dallas. Really,
there's so many teams where I just he could go to the Clippers. He could go to the Lakers.
I like the Timberwolves. Is another team I like. They don't have the money.
I got him going to the New York Knicks, man. Dude, I just see the Knicks paying him. Like, I really think the Knicks could fight for a playoff spot next year based on what they do in free agency. The Knicks at the 3 and 4 spot is really just like they got Julius Randle, they got Kevin Knox, like RJ Barrett. I would consider to be a shooting guard. So, if they end up bringing Freddie VanVleet and Jeremy Grant, like. I like that. I like that squad, But I got him going to a team like that has a lot of money because I think he deserves a good contract. So I'm going with the New York Knicks for Jeremy Grant. Next team is a veteran who also was Jeremy Grant's teammate last year, and that's Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap can go a lot of places. I think it makes the most sense for him to stay in Denver as a contender and compete.
I've seen the Denver's owner said they want Millsap to retire as a Nugget.
I think it just makes the most sense. He played awesome in the playoffs. He looked really good.
He did.
In certain moments.
He played really good, yeah.
In certain moments, he just erupted into, like, I'm still Paul Millsap, but I'm surrounded by good players. I've got him going back to Denver.
I would like to see him go back to Denver. I just don't really think it's going to happen. I think he's going to go to a team that's also in the West that's going to be fighting for a playoff spot next year. And that's the team on my hat. That's the Phoenix Suns. I like him with the Suns because the power forward spot is pretty much the only, like, what do we do? Like Cam Johnson's like a 3 and a 4. They got Saric, but, like, are they committed to Saric? I don't know. Paul Millsap, I'm not saying he's got to start or he play 30 minutes. He could come off the bench, but he brings a leadership to that team that, Ricky Rubio's pretty much the only guy there who's kind of like a leader. So, I mean, that's a veteran leader. Yeah. I mean, obviously Devin Booker's a leader, but, I got him going to the Suns. Next player is a guy who just is coming off of an NBA championship win, a guy who gets a lot of hate, but, man, he had a really good playoffs and is probably going to get paid because of it. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, man, where do you got him going?
He looked very good this year. Again, I don't know why I find Dallas as a contender for every player. He's not going to Dallas, but he stud 3-and-D wing guy. I can see him going to a team like Portland and playing the threes out there. Gary Trent, obviously.
That's interesting, yeah.
Gary Trent looked really good in the bubble.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Trent and McCollum because you really can't play them both at the same time.
And then you
Trent's like 6'3", McCollum's like 6'1".
Melo's a free agent who I also think can, like, stay with the Portland and stay there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Portland here.
I'm going with the team that I said that this needs to be their offseason move when we did this a couple weeks ago. The Atlanta Hawks, man. I think that Kentavious Caldwell, they said they want to fight for the playoffs next year, which I really think they can do. And KCP does exactly what they need for them to make the playoffs. He brings the defense, and he'll knock down the three. They need that with Trae Young and John Collins, who are not, especially Trae Young, isn't the best defender ever. So.
Clearly.
I'm going with the Hawks for KCP. Next player is a guy who almost won an NBA championship this year, one of the most valuable role players in the league. That is Jae Crowder.
Jae Crowder. Interesting story about Jae Crowder. I fell in love with him in 2K15 maybe.
When he was with Boston or Dallas?
Dallas. He was a hooper in 2K.
Remember when Dallas wouldn't trade Jae Crowder to get Porzingis?
Yeah.
They would, or to get Anthony Davis or something. They said they didn't want to trade Jae Crowder. That's why they wouldn't do
Boston
a superstar trade. Yeah, did I say Dallas?
Yeah, I think so.
I meant Boston.
It was because Avery Bradley and Jae Crowder were the talks. And we're not trading Jae Crowder.
Yeah.
I would hate.
And that was before Jae Crowder was even that good.
Yeah, it was still probably 68 overall in 2K, 74.
Yeah.
I like Jae Crowder a lot. I think it makes the most sense for him to stay in Miami. He meshed with the team so well.
He just fits that Miami culture, man. He really does.
3-and-D, but scrappy defender. I'm going with Miami.
Yeah, I definitely see him, if he does leave Miami, going to a contender. He's just a type of guy that there's no reason for him to be playing for a bad team.
I think it's his attitude.
Like I said about Joe Harris, there's really just no reason for it. I got him going to a team that I really didn't think about any free agency destinations for this squad, but if he goes to this team, this puts him over the hump, man. I got him going to the Golden State Warriors, man. I can so see Jae Crowder taking not a pay cut, but just not a big contract to contend.
Yeah, me too.
Jae Crowder gets $8 million a year from the Warriors. Man, that Warriors squad is just adds to their wing depth because now you have Draymond, Pascal, and Jae Crowder who are going to all play the 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm. I love Jae Crowder at the 3. In all honesty,
Jae Crowder played the 5 at times in this year's playoffs. Next guy we have is Aaron Baines, one of the best stretch 5s in the league. So
the team where I want Aaron Baines to go to would have to make it'd have to be after the Russell Westbrook trade where they free up cap space is the Rockets.
That makes the most sense.
I think it just makes the most sense and it's the most fun. I think sticking Aaron Baines there. I love Aaron Baines' attitude. He's not going back to Phoenix. He wants to be the starting center wherever he goes. I love a team like the Raptors, but I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, okay. He wouldn't start, but
no, it'd still be Capella. But I like him.
I mean, he would be the sixth man, and I guess you
for
could
John Collins. And him.
you could rotate them. I got Baines going back to Boston, bro. I think he fits so well in Boston,
he does.
He was meshing with them. He got traded. He didn't leave Boston. They traded him to the Suns. I think just to clear up cap space, but.
I'd get him.
I don't think there's any bad blood with him in the Celtics, you know. So I would love to see him go back to Boston. I think that makes the most sense.
Me too.
For him to go back to where he had fun, you know. So
and going to a contender, I think he wants to play for a contender.
Oh yeah,
I just think it's the way Baines is.
Next guy is another recent NBA champion. He already got his championship way back when, but he just added another one this year. One of the best playmakers of all time, Rajon Rondo.
I've got him going to one team. I think he's going to go to his homeland of Chicago and go and mentor Kobe White.
Back to the Bulls.
Yeah, back to the Bulls.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I love
the Rondo Chicago thing did not work.
I don't see. I know, but like
it was like with him in Sacramento too, or him in Dallas. I mean, that didn't work.
It's a whole new team.
It's so weird how he had those like little stunts with teams that just did. The Pelicans was pretty nice, but
yeah, no, that actually did work.
Yeah, it did. But the Dallas and Chicago and Sacramento was just like weird. Like that was Rondo was like, why is he even in the league anymore? Yeah, that would be cool for him to mentor Kobe White. I might be able to see it happen, but I definitely just see the Milwaukee Bucks going after Rajon Rondo after, they've pretty much fallen out of Chris Paul trade talks, which is surprising because we kind of just assumed that was going to happen. Like Chris Paul was going to be a Milwaukee Buck. Yeah.
Because if you don't, I seriously think if you go out and get a guy like Rondo and say that's our competitive move.
And I'm not saying Rondo has to be the starting point guard, but
no.
he could play a lot,
Yeah, but if that's your move to make them a competitor, it's just, I don't think that's enough for Giannis to say, yeah, this team's really going all in for me.
Desmond Howard on College Game Day picked Wisconsin to beat Michigan.
That's not a big... What?
Michigan graduate, Desmond Howard.
Oh.
Michigan Heisman winner, Desmond Howard.
I didn't connect that. I didn't make the connection.
Picks Wisconsin to beat Michigan.
That's tough. That's tough, Desmond.
Wow, that's sad, bro. That's sad.
He is the Heisman Trophy, right?
He's the one who did that. Yeah. He did that, yeah.
Desmond Howard.
Is that all you got about Rondo, though?
Yeah.
Next guy is a guy who's still chasing that ring, man. It's Carmelo Anthony. I wouldn't really say he's a top 20 free agent, but we had to include Melo, so.
There's two teams that you can go to, and it's stay in Portland or go to LA and team up with your best friend.
There's been rumors of other teams.
I know, but that's the only place I want him.
Yeah.
I want him in Portland.
I would really like him to stay in Portland.
Me too. I love Portland, so I'm going to go with Portland. And I don't see why he would. Portland's the only team that finally gave him a shot back and said, we want you in the league. And he showed that he's a leaguer. And everybody knew that he should be in the league. But it was about what team's going to give him the shot. Portland did it. He needs to stay in Portland.
And the thing that I like about Melo is, he's finally accepted his role. He knows that he's not, because in OKC and Houston, he really just was not favorable of his role. And now he realizes, like, after he didn't have a job for so long,
Atlanta, where he didn't even play a game.
Yeah, in Chicago, he got cuts. He was the same thing with Chicago, too. So, I got Melo going back to the Knicks, though, man. That's been rumored this offseason. He said that he came out and said that if Chris Paul gets traded to the Knicks, that he would probably sign with the Knicks. I'm not saying that Chris Paul will get traded to the Knicks, but I could just see him going back, man, because things didn't really end badly with the Knicks. Like, the Knicks were the one team that was like, we're going to let Melo run it until he, is gone. I mean, he averaged 20 his whole career until the year he left the Knicks and went to OKC, so...
Melo's been a hard player to watch have a downfall.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
Because he was just so good.
Denver, Melo, we didn't watch him. I
watched the end of him, yeah.
I love Denver Melo, and then Knicks Melo was
Knicks
awesome.
Melo's the Melo that I know, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't know. It's been really hard to watch him have a downfall.
Like I said, dude, I kind of miss when, that 1 year when the Knicks were good.
Tyson
literally,
Chandler.
they had 1 year when they were good. It was really weird. They sucked, and then they were the 1 seed 1 year, and then they sucked again. And that 1 year, man, I just, it's kind of cool when the Garden is popping and they're good.
Yeah,
Like
and the highlights were electric that year.
JR, Ahmad Shumpert. They had Steve Novak catching out.
Pablo Prigioni.
Yeah, Prigioni. Yeah, for real.
Tyson Chandler was on that team.
Amari, obviously.
Amari.
Melo, but I think Melo going back to the Garden. I think I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, me too. I love that.
Two guys left. Two guys that were teammates last season after one of them got traded. First guy is, I think, one of the best like spark plug off the bench guys in the NBA, Jordan Clarkson, man. And he was on Utah last year, and he was a huge piece to that team.
Your guy, I don't know what you're gonna pick here, but I think you're gonna go with the Lakers because that was your main thing all year.
I'm so going with the Lakers. I'm just saying, yeah. I think he goes back to the Lakers, bro.
I think it works.
It's a completely different team too.
Yeah.
This team has LeBron James on it, like,
and I think he can fill in.
he was with LeBron James in Cleveland when he was in Cleveland. So
I think it works because we both don't think Rondo goes back to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Not that Jordan Clarkson is Rondo, but he can be that,
he's that
ball
spark plug.
dominant
he
player.
He can come off the bench and put up 15, like, and not do it how Kuzma does it, I guess. Not just inefficiently. So where do you got him going, though?
I think he's going to the Lakers.
You do too?
I do too.
And the last guy on this list is a guy who really has just, his name has not been talked about that much at all, like in the past 2 years, ever since LeBron left Cleveland. Tristan Thompson, man. Where do you got Tristan Thompson going?
I've got Tristan Thompson staying in Cleveland.
I
know he can make a team get over the hump. I really do
like Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, I like him in Boston.
He's a great rebounder. He gets a lot of hate and everything for all the Kardashian shit, but
I love him in Boston. But I think he's just gonna stay with Cleveland. I don't see any reason for him to leave.
Yeah.
Other than they're not contending. But Drummond, it sounds like, is not gonna accept his player option.
Yeah, I don't know.
And go take a pay cut. So I think you just stay in Cleveland.
I got him going to a team that I think he's going to take a big time pay cut to go to this team because he's gotten paid in Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't need any more money.
He was on 4-year, $52 million, I think, which is what, 16 a year? Or no, that's 13 a year. I don't know. He was making more than that, but I got Tristan Thompson going to play with his best friend again, and that's going to the Lakers, man. Him and LeBron James are some of the LeBron
Right.
talks about Tristan Thompson all the time. He tweeted something about him the other day, like how they went out to dinner. Those two are tight. They're some of the best friends in the league. And I think I could so see Tristan Thompson saying, "Yeah, I'll take $4 million to come play with LeBron again."
So I have a question about league, whether or not you can do this in the league.
Yeah.
So obviously LeBron makes a lot of money not from the league.
Yeah.
Could he pay somebody to play with him? Without, get...
Probably not.
Here's some of my Space Jam money. I don't think he can.
Probably not. It's
right?
probably in a contract that you can't, persuade. Is that
It's
tampering? But I thought only the owners could do tampering, though, and the GMs and stuff.
No, if LeBron says something in a press conference, he got in trouble for tampering.
Oh, yeah, that's right. With Ben Simmons. Or no, Magic Johnson got in trouble for tampering with Ben Simmons,
Where is that light coming
I don't know. Oh, it's from the top of that thing. It's sneaking in through the top.
Odd.
But yeah, that's all it is for free agency. So, last topic of the day. We're back on our top 10 position ranks. Like I said, we're doing power forwards today. Wednesday, we're doing centers. And then the following Saturday, we're going to wrap it out with our top 50 NBA
Which I am
players.
so excited for.
That's going to be fun just to rank them. But let me tell you, this power forwards list is deep, bro.
Deep.
I did not realize it was this deep. I wrote down 17 guys here, but I'm just going to name my 15 through 11 real quick.
Okay.
And then you can just name your honorable mentions. So I'm going to name the 17 and 16 too. I might
go
as well.
for it.
17, Paul Millsap. 16, Kevin Love. 15, Jonathan Isaac. 14, Christian Wood. 13, Jeremy Grant. 12, Aaron Gordon. And 11, Tobias Harris.
Our lists are completely different. I can tell you that right now. Because you got guys in your bottom, you had, I don't even know who your 17 was. Was 17 Millsap?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like there's
top 10.
guys you forgot about.
You think?
Yeah. I so do. I'm my 10, 9, and 8, I think you all forgot about.
I made my list last night.
Yeah.
Who
your honorable mentions, though?
Gallo, Jonathan Isaac, Zion, and Kevin Love.
Gallo is an honorable mention?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Our lists are very different.
All right.
Number 10, I got Christian Wood.
Yeah, I wanted to put Christian Wood on here, but I couldn't. Like, it's just like I have not seen enough of Christian Wood for me to consider him a top 10 power forward. Now next year it could be a completely different story, but I feel like it would have been too biased for me to put Christian Wood on here.
I mean, I can't make a list.
You think Christian Wood's better than Gallinari? Like, do you actually think he is?
Maybe not. He had a better. No, I don't know.
Do you really believe that he's better than Gallinari?
No, but I think next season he will be better than Gallinari.
Yeah, no, he definitely could, but like,
So,
right now,
I guess that means right now he's top 10 to me. Because like right now, going into next season, he's gonna be better than Gallo. He is.
I just haven't seen it from Christian Wood. Like, once I see it, yeah, maybe after the first game of the year, I'll be like, all right, yeah, he is. But right now, I can't.
He's gonna get a lot more shots than Gallo too.
Number 10 for me is a guy who I really, like I said, I looked up this list. Some lists had this guy at number 4. Some of them didn't even have him in the top 20. It's Zion Williamson, man. He's another guy who had a small series of me getting to see him play, but this one was a little different than Christian Wood because he was just dominant.
Yeah, he was a monster.
I feel like I had to put Zion on here. Like, he's sorry, Tobias Harris, but he's better than you, so... I got Zion at number 10, man.
My number 9 is a guy that I think is way better than everybody gives him credit for because of his contract.
Tobias Harris?
Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I had Tobias Harris at 11. I mean, he was on my original list because I had Porzingis on my original list, and then I realized that he was a center, so I had to completely change it up. Yeah, by the way, all these are off of Basketball Reference positions, so when you're like, oh, that guy's a center, that guy's a small forward. No, he's not. He's a power forward.
Tobias Harris shot like 47% from the field this year, averaging 17 points a game.
Yeah, he just ran the 3. He is a power forward because he played more power forward than small forward this year. But at the beginning of the year, he ran the 3 and it just didn't work. Like he's not a small forward; he's a power forward.
I don't think he's quick enough anymore to be a small forward,
especially defensively.
And in the league now, where you see a lot of 2 guards that can play the 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Like real ball handlers.
You can just play 2 shooting guards. Like you see lineups like Chris Paul, Dennis Schroeder, and Shea out on the court at the same time. Like with Tobias Harris guarding one of those guys.
LeBron, KCP, Danny Green.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron's the small forward who brings the ball up.
Exactly.
So at that point, KCP and Danny Green are both small forwards.
Yeah. My number 9 is John Collins. John Collins has been a pretty solid power forward ever since he joined the league. He's still young, and he's only going to get better. So I got John Collins at number 9.
And my number 8 is John Collins.
Okay. Yeah, I like John Collins' game a lot. I think we've talked about him a good amount on this show, too.
I wish he was a little bit better defender, but like...
I think he'll get there, though.
He'll get there.
Yeah,
he's an athletic
He's only
freak.
in his like 3rd year in the league, so...
He's an absolute athlete. Where is he from? What college did he go to? I don't know.
Oh my God, dude. I know where everybody went to school.
I have
can't
no
think of
idea
where
where John Collins. Like, I want to say like Arizona State.
He went to... Oh my God. I know where everyone went to school.
I don't know where John Collins went to school. UNLV?
I want to say it was a random school. It was like a... I have to look it up now.
You have to. No, like I seriously... As I was thinking about
I want to figure it out before I look it up, but
You're not gonna.
Georgia Tech, maybe? Hey, Siri. Where did John Collins go to college? Wake Forest.
Oh, I see. I never would have. I mean, that's not a random school because they have a lot of history.
I did not know that. I should know that, man. That's tough.
Where did Tobias Harris? Kentucky?
He went to Tennessee.
I thought he was a Big Blue college.
Nah, he's a Tennessee guy.
Tennessee.
Number 8 for me is one of my favorite players in the league. It's Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., man.
When I looked him up on Basketball Reference, he was a center.
Really? It said did I not see it?
It said center when I looked
There's
him up.
no way. It had Valanciunas.
No, I looked it up and it said center.
No way.
Yeah.
I looked
you
it
can
up.
look it up right now.
Okay, I mean, I believe you, but like...
Because I went through, the way I did this, I went through every team. Not every team, but every team I was like, okay, big men, who do they have? And I went and I was like, Memphis, Triple J's got to be a power
Why
forward.
is he a center?
I don't know. So Triple J is not on my list for that reason. If he was a center, he would be number 7.
And the thing is that I don't think he makes the center list anyways because center's pretty deep. But so I don't think it's gonna matter for when we do our center list. But yeah, I mean that kind of sucks. I didn't know that. I didn't even look it up just because like I
just assumed
there's no way he's.
That's
center.
what I did. That's what I was like. I might as well click to see.
I looked up most of them. Like I looked up guys like LaMarcus Aldridge and stuff just to double check that they were.
I looked
centers,
up Sabonis to make sure he was power forward. because I didn't know.
Wow, that blows. Yeah, but I love Triple J though. He's like one of my favorite players in the league. So
my number 7 is the guy you put at 17, Paul Millsap. I love Millsap. I think he fits everywhere in the league.
I think
he's really talented.
I think like I put Jeremy Grant above him, like just because Jeremy Grant was his teammate and he was better. So like I like Millsap's game. I don't think he's better than Gallinari or Zion or John Collins.
See, I think he falls under the
the Gallinari one is just the one.
I know that one
gets
hurts
me.
for
like,
you. I know, but I think Gallo also like benefited from my team doesn't have a lot of great scorers.
Yeah,
I think Paul Millsap, it hurts him playing with so many good
Not
players.
really. They don't have a lot of great scorers on the Nuggets, so like
Jamal Murray.
That's pretty much it.
Jamal Murray's going to score you 20. Jokic going to score you 20. Gary Harris going to have you 15.
Think too, this is pre-bubble. Jamal Murray was averaging like 17 a game. Like,
but you have other guys who are also averaging. Gary Harris averaged what, 13 or 14?
Probably 13. Yeah, Jokic averaged like 19.
Like
Will Barton get 14 a game.
Then in the bubble you have PJ. They start feeding him.
No, you're right. You're right. I don't know. Millsap he didn't play as much as I like in the regular season as much as I would like as a top 10 power forward, I guess.
Yep.
My number 7 is Gallinari.
Okay.
Yeah, Gallinari's a beast. I mean, I can't wait to see him play for a contender this year. So I assume we're gonna have the same top 6. I'm obviously not in the same order, but
yeah,
we'll
I think we'll have
guys.
the same 6 guys.
Who's number 6 for you?
My number 6 is Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, I got Sabonis as well. I figured we'd both have him there.
He's a killer.
He is a killer, and I think that technically next year he'll probably be a center because I assume Miles Turner is going to get moved, and I don't know how much they like the whole Sabonis Turner on the court thing.
His dad is Arvydas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. Was Arvydas a stretch big too?
Yeah, he was, but he didn't really like. He was more of like a Jokic type of guy. Like he was like a playmaking center.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, Sabonis is awesome. I think Sabonis will jump into the number 1 option this year with Miles Turner being
probably
out.
be an all-star again.
Oladipo will probably be gone unless they look at Malcolm Brogdon or like.
I mean, Brogdon was after the first like month of the season. Everyone thought he was an all-star. He was balling.
Yeah, he was balling. He's tough. I mean, 50, 40, 90.
Oh yeah, you can't argue with that.
He's a monster.
Top 5. Who do you got at 5?
My number 5 is a guy that I wish I could put him higher.
I know who it is.
It's Bam.
Yeah, dude. I love that. I really thought you were gonna take Bam over the guy I have at 4, just off of recency bias.
No, I
love that you didn't.
I love Bam Adebayo. I think everybody knows that the Heat. Right into the playoffs, before the playoffs, I said the Heat are my team.
And he loves he always loved Bam. Like I like Bam a lot too.
I know
Bam. Bam's a center. He technically wasn't this year because Myers Leonard was the center. I know, really weird. Hopefully next year Bam is a center because I hate doing lists like this. They're so weird. But yeah, I got Bam, and that's probably why Bam wasn't on the 3rd team. You know, I kept saying there's no way Gobert deserved to over Bam, but Bam was a forward this year, so that's probably why.
And this, I want to mention that you just mentioned it. Like these kind of lists are only harder because basketball is only moving away from positionless basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
To where positions aren't going to exist.
Next year, there's probably going to be several guys on this list who won't be power forwards.
Because it just positionless basketball.
Jason Tatum probably won't be a power forward next year.
Has taken over.
Yeah.
Like nobody plays positions anymore.
Yeah.
The contenders don't have positions.
I also had Bam at 5 though. Number 4.
My number 4 is a guy I sat here and I battled with myself mentally. I said, I don't know who I'm taking. I put Jason Tatum at number 4. So there's 3 guys that I have in front of him.
Really? Wow.
And I think right now in the league, after last year and going into the season, I think Jason Tatum, there's no reason he can't be number 3. He won't be 1 or 2. There's no reason he can't be number 3. I think 1 and 2 it's a big drop off after 1 and 2. But Jason Tatum's a stud, and I really like him, but I put him at number 4.
I thought about 3 and 4 as well. And if I would have done this list like a couple months ago, like before the bubble and everything, I probably would have took put Tatum at 4. But I got Siakam at 4. And you know me, I love me some Siakam. I love Spicy P. I love the Raptors. But Tatum's just better, man. I mean, he really is. Like and I'm not, like I said, the recency bias, Siakam can only do spin move. Like, shut up with that. Like, he was a dominant player this year. Was all-star starter, like all-NBA player, all-NBA second team, I'm pretty sure Siakam was, and Tatum was 3rd team. But I'm taking Tatum over Siakam right now, and I definitely think he's also going to make the jump I think they'll both make a jump this year, but I think Tatum makes that superstar jump this
Yeah,
year.
and I do
And
too. I think
Tatum's 3 for me, obviously.
and Pascal's 3 for
Yeah.
me.
Which is really surprising. Like, I feel like it would be the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah. I will probably get it.
I honestly figured you would have took Bam over. I thought you were gonna have Bam at 3. I
Hell
really
no.
did. I really
No.
did.
No.
You like to put bias into lists.
I know, but
you
I'm
do.
not that
Christian
crazy.
Wood at 10. You know.
No, but that's crazy.
Yeah, it
Bam
is.
at 3 would be.
And then
like
2 and 1,
nuts.
I assume we're the same, but I could see people taking these the opposite way.
I have 2
I feel
AD, 1 Giannis.
Okay, so do I.
Okay.
But I had a
Okay.
feeling that you were going to take AD over
No.
Giannis. I understand that Anthony Davis, won the championship. Giannis lost in the second round. Giannis is the back-to-back MVP, bro. Like,
Giannis is the guy. Like Giannis goes to any
he
team and they're
took
content.
Depoy over AD. And the thing is about Giannis, dude, Giannis is just incredibly strong. That dude is like, he literally is just dominant like Shaq was.
Yeah.
Like, he bullies his way to the rim.
I'm a
nuts.
firm believer that Giannis is a better center than he is a power forward. I think he is a perfect
Probably,
center.
but he's a good, he's a damn fast center.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
you want to talk about positionless basketball? Stick him on a team where they need a center. The Warriors,
Right.
Oh my God,
Yeah, for real.
he plays center for them. They don't lose a game maybe all year. They might be the first ever 82 and 0 team in history. Not really, but
Yeah. But does that wrap it up? I mean,
that wraps it up.
So we'll be back on Wednesday, the day of the NBA draft. There'll probably be plenty of NBA rumors by then. Let me check my phone to make sure nothing happened.
Are we gonna do it during the draft?
No, we'll do it before.
Before
Because the draft is at like 7, so we'll probably be done before the draft starts. So
we have to be. I'm
yeah.
not missing.
We're not missing it. So
Are you? We're rushing it. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
yeah. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.